Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome, and I hope that you're going to like this kind of content. And if you do, hit that subscribe button and help me grow so that I'm also able to reach more and more people. And if you think that there's someone who's going to like this, share it with your community and let's get the conversation going. So there's something that I like to say most of the time, and I think I've said it 2 times in my previous videos, that Tony Robbins says that success is 80% psychology and 20% skill. So that means that the biggest chunk of our success, it has to do with our psychology, with our makeup, with the way that we think about ourselves, with what we believe is possible for us, with our self-confidence, with our self-esteem, our self-image. All this has to do with how successful we become and how far we go with our success. And so the feeling of unworthiness is exactly the opposite of that, where you feel unworthy, you feel like a fraud, that's probably you're not doing well enough, and eventually people are going to find you out. You feel that you don't deserve, you don't measure up, and the constant feeling of always trying to meet unrealistic expectation of people or even of yourself. And this can be counterproductive for our success, because there's no way that we can expect people to be the ones who tell us how well we are doing, how successful we are, and the kind of impacts that we're making. We have to believe this for ourselves. And for our business to thrive and be able, and for us to be able to reach the success that we say we want for ourselves, we need to get to that mental state where we believe in our own success. We believe in our own capability to create change. We believe in our own, ability to influence. I mean, I remember, when I started I've always wanted a leadership role at my, in my career. But I think the reason why I wanted it is because, I wanted for status, I wanted to have made it, for me to say that I have worked so hard and this is where I am right now. And then there's someone who made a comment to me, and she said that, Tembi, if you are in a leadership position and you are sitting in a boardroom table and there are decisions that are being made and you are in a place of influence, if you do not use your influence to change the environment, the culture, then you have failed. And I think that for me, it changed the way that I thought about being in a leadership role. I recognize the responsibility that lies in me being in a leadership role, that I am responsible to creating change, that I have a responsibility, I have an obligation to not waste the time, for women who are coming behind me, but also, to make sure that I represent the people that I need to represent there, because we all have, what do you call it? We all have a responsibility. We all have a burden, and my burden is to make sure, women empowerment. Women must be empowered, and I believe that one way of empowering women is through education, but also financially. When we empower women financially, then in fact the whole world could change. And so with the influence that I have, if I use that well, then there's going to be 2, 3 or 4, even 5 women that can be impacted by me being in that position. So I can't waste that by competing. And so, thinking about unworthiness, one thing that I know that it's one of the things that psychologists, even my therapy, advised me to do, is to look back at when did you start feeling the feeling of unworthiness. And for me, I grew up with 2 boys, and we at home we never had the knowing of this, these are chores for boys and these are chores for girls. We were all treated the same. But it does not mean that when I went out into the world, I did not see the levels. I did not see the expectation for women, the expectation for men. And so slowly as I grow, I kind of internalize this. So when I'm finding myself in positions of leadership. Now I'm trying to find a balance of doing this. But it helped me to go back and recognize where this thought started to stick in my head. That the feeling of unworthiness, because when we're sitting in meetings, for example, if I have to say something, I need to feel worthy that what I have to say is valuable, and even if it's valuable, it's not a stupid thing. And it's not a stupid idea, it's not a stupid decision if I'm making a decision. So I have to trust in my own self that whatever it is that I have to say, people want to hear it. And not only now being in a position of leadership, but also being amongst people of a different makeup than I am. And so it helped me a lot to go back there. And so every time I come in, I'm aware of the chatter that goes on in my head. And so according to psychologists, when I was reading about this and studying about this, is the feeling of unworthiness. It is dominant amongst women, because we as women, we tend to be our biggest self-critic, but also we attribute our success to external things. Like if I'm successful, we think that it's an external thing. Like you think, oh, it's like, oh, I had people that believed in me, I had people that were helping me. But when you go to your male counterparts, you find him saying that, no, I worked hard. I mean, I worked hard. I burned the midnight oil. Like, he owns it. It's his. And that's something that we lack. We can't own our own success. We always, we always apologize for it. We always play it very safe. Like, we don't want to offend people. And that can be very dangerous when you're trying to make it, to grow a business. And so that's why I wanted to speak about this thing, this imposter syndrome, that if you want to build successful businesses, if you want to go out there, we need that strength, that mental strength of believing in ourselves and believing that we deserve it and believing that we have what it takes to have it, that we measure up and that we are unique and we are not, we won't be like, I won't be like Oprah, but in my own way that I can make an influence and I can create an impact. And so, the things that I learned on how to deal with this inner chatter of thinking of unworthiness, the feeling of kind of shame, feeling of that you don't measure up. One of the things I already spoke about it is that you want to know where the thoughts came from, because we come in this world as blank as a slate, but through doctrination and people saying certain things and telling us no, it creates a certain kind of things and even expectation that we're trying to measure to meet. And so recognize where it first started. But another thing is that acknowledge your own emotions. It's an emotion. It's nothing more than that. It is an emotion. And own your own success. Your success doesn't have to look like someone else. Even as you start, even as I'm starting right now, if it will be counterproductive for me to compare myself to another YouTuber. It will be, we did not start at the same time, and we are not going on the same journey. And our YouTube channel are not meant to serve the same, it's not for the same intention. So we are all on a different journey, and I don't have to compare myself. So own your success. It doesn't have to be the same like someone else. Don't talk yourself down. There's a quote that I like. It says that don't talk bad about yourself, even as a joke, because your soul doesn't know a difference. So you wanna be positive about yourself. Talk to yourself like someone you love. When you love someone, you use nice words, you encourage them. I see sometimes the way that my younger brother speaks to me, like the way that he speaks about me and thinks about me, I know that he loves me. And so speak to yourself like someone you love. You don't criticize so harshly and beat down someone you love that they come to a point where they are depressed. So implement self-love to you. And focus on your values. We all have something of value to contribute into the world. We all have something that we can share with the world. It doesn't have to look like someone else's. So focus on your values, not trying to be perfect, but knowing that this is the value that I bring. I bring so much in the table, and this is it. And I'm not trying to be perfect about it. And another thing is to embrace your strength. We all have weaknesses. The one thing that you don't want to do is talk about your weaknesses. One thing that you want to concentrate on and build up is your strength. Build up your strength so that you are able to stand, against your things that are your weaknesses. And also, stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. We are not on the same journey, like I always said. But another thing is, you want to feed your faith. I speak one of the videos some time ago about faithing things up. That there are different voices that speak to you. The voice that criticizes you and make you feel like you are unworthy, that's a fear. That's a fear voice, and you don't want to listen to that voice. The voice that we want to hear is the voice of faith, the voice that tells you that you are capable, that that you are beautiful, that you deserve success, that you are worthy. Why? Because God said that you are. The Bible, the scripture that I love is in Psalms 139 verse 14. It says that I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made, and my soul knows that very well. What is your soul? Your soul is your intent, will, and thoughts. So it means build up your soul in a way that your soul knows that I am fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. And when you can do that, then there's nothing that can stand in your way. If you fall down, you'll get yourself up back again, and you don't have to stay down because you have fallen down. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. That rise. If you want success, and you want to make the kind of money that you want, you must know that the inner part of yourself plays a huge role in how successful that you're going to be. And so if there's anything that came out for you while I share this, and that you want to share with me, or even want to share this video with your community, then go ahead and do that, and let's get this discussion going, because we know that the feeling of unworthiness, it brings shame and guilt, and those are just the worst emotions ever for us to dwell into, because they create a feeling of depression and feeling like we are disapproved by other people, and it's very counterproductive from what we're trying to achieve. And so leave me a comment and hit a like button if you really like this, and we will talk about it in the next video. We'll talk more.